Kelly, are you working from home or are you going into work?
I thankfully have been a stay-at-home mom since December, so that timing couldn't have been any better.
Oh, by choice?
Yeah, by choice. And
Nice.
yeah, so
Well,
it
that's perfect.
wasn't what I thought work or being a stay-at-home mom was going to look like, but again, it couldn't have
Yeah.
really worked out any better. So
Yeah.
it's
And
been just,
you're feeling better.
yeah, yep, me too.
I had that same thing last week. My husband's been home for 3 days now. He had he went in for a test too. We're
Okay.
both negative. It's just something that's going around.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, can you hear? Sorry, Matt's messing with stuff.
Sorry, can you ask that question again? I turned down the volume.
I said, I was sick last week. My husband's been sick this week. We both went in and were tested and we both were negative. It's just, I don't know, something that's going around.
Yeah. I had like body aches, and my temperature at highest was like 99 something. It was
Low
never a
grade
fever.
temperature. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I had a
Yep.
headache, and then I had diarrhea really bad, which you didn't want to hear,
Yeah.
but it was not pleasant at all. And but yeah, so thankfully again, I was happy to get the negative result, and
Yeah.
yeah, there must be something else going around.
Hey, Samantha. Hi, Roger.
Good evening from soccer practice.
Oh, you are committed. Trying to do this from soccer practice on your phone. No? Are you on your phone or no?
I'm on my phone through my car.
Okay. Where's soccer practice at?
Res at the field behind Res.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice
You
night
might
for
be able
it
to hear
too.
the church bells in the background.
Yep. Hey, Chris. And that is... Oh, the Schulers. Hi. We'll give it a minute or two yet, and then we will get started. This is a small class. So, and there's soccer practice going on. So we'll see what happens here. We are going to record it, though, so we can forward it to anybody that wasn't able to make it. 6 o'clock is kind of a tough time for parents to get on. Well, let's get started. We'll just start with the Serenity Prayer, in that there are just, so many things that are not in our control right now, and it's just good to place our faith in God, to know that He's walking with us through this very strange year. So we'll start in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace. Taking, as Jesus did, the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that you will make all things right. If I surrender to your will, so that I may be happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So thank you all for joining with us tonight. We have 4 teachers with us, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. That your children are actually having classes with. And then Mrs. Thoreau, who is the FIED teacher, sent out a taped presentation. So you should have that in your email as well. So I will just hand it over to Sarah, and she can start with the core of what fifth grade is about. And then we'll have Mr. Ritter, Mrs. Skifton, Mr. Forbes join in and tell us a little bit more about what they're doing with the fifth graders.
And I think I heard Mrs. Crown, but I could be wrong. So hello, everybody. So typically what I like to do on this day is just kind of talk about fifth grade being as a transition year for everybody, especially at Father Alloway, because they are coming from a different building into the middle school building. And even though fifth grade isn't technically middle school, they're coming and joining and seeing, they go from the older to the younger. And my job, I take it upon myself to make sure that I do a good job of them coming in and being ready for middle school by the time we come to third trimester. So how I usually work things such as grading and ease of assignments, I increase it a little bit every trimester, kind of more used to what fourth grade was, toughen it up a little bit more in second trimester. And then by third trimester, I hope to be doing exactly what the middle school as a whole is doing. So first off, I'll start with all the subjects that I teach. This year I'm teaching science, fifth grade math, reading, religion, and technology. And in science, we're right now doing the scientific method. We will be doing some engineering, some things about matter, ecosystems, and photosynthesis. In math, as I like to say, fractions, 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 a little algebra, some geometry, measurement, place value, division, fractions, fractions, fractions. A lot, we work a lot with fractions. It's so useful in our real world, and there's a lot to learn and a lot of different intricacies with how they work. So many differences between subtraction and addition and multiplication and division. So most of what the curriculum in fifth grade math is fractions. So reading, of course, comprehension strategies, vocabulary, spelling, elements of stories. And we also will look at all the genres and also include gospels and other biblical stories, as well as parables compared to your typical historical fiction, nonfiction, and those other genres. In religion, I've kind of set it up where kind of one day a week we're looking at the Bible and using the Bible, finding things in the Bible and becoming more familiar with the passages in the Bible. Another day during the week, we will focus on reflecting from the Mass, using some journal writing. Today they did a journal entry about last week's discussion we have relating friendship with discipleship and how they can be disciples in fifth grade and how they can be that at home, out in public, in school, just in general overall discipleship with our connection with our faith. We also will be using, this was a lot of fun last year because I have a bingo game that the kids love. We didn't start it yet this year, but all the elements that they use during the Mass, the chalice and all the different kinds of robes and lectionary, so that they can identify those as they attend Mass and know what they are, what they're officially called, and what they're used for and their symbolism. And then in technology, keyboarding, I was really impressed this year. A lot of them already are typing as they are supposed to be, but we still have some of those that are doing that. And as they get older, it's easier for them to use the correct fingering. So one day a week, we do some keyboarding. And then the other day right now, I'm getting them used to Google Docs, Google spreadsheets. We spent 2 class times on Google Docs, just how to do everything. And I think it was most evident to me that because they don't really know that. And when they got, we were virtual last year, it was very evident, oh, they don't know how to do bullets or they don't know how to do this. So we're going through all that right now. and we'll eventually move over to, we'll do some slides and also some spreadsheets, and then expand into other things such as coding. Do I have 5 minutes, Kay, or do I have more than 5 minutes?
You have more than 5 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say, I just got through that. So I do have a document that I wanted to add to, especially if anybody had questions tonight before I send it out. But I do have a document that I will send home with the kids tomorrow. A little bit about myself. 5th grade is a transition year. I had talked about that. Grading. I'm a little softer in the first trimester. Anybody that makes any corrections, I give a full credit for. If they correct it and hand it back in, they can correct any assignment they want, hand it back in, and I will change their grade. 2nd trimester, they will receive a 0.5 point for anything that they have wrong, and I will put a 0.5 point back into the grade book. Then by 3rd trimester, I don't want them to fall in the habit of, well, I know I can correct it anyway, so I'm just going to do poorly and then hand it in later. But by 3rd trimester, you can only make corrections if you have less than a C. And again, a 0.5 point back for that. So the kids know that as they start making corrections, that they can't just guess. And those parents that I see here, I know that your children aren't doing that, and I have not seen anything like that yet. But as the year goes on, it could happen, and just so that they know, they shouldn't just hurry up on an assignment because they know it can do it over. Accordion folders and planners. This is new for everybody, and the gist of the day is everything should go in their accordion folders. Both the accordion folder and their planners should go home every single night, even on the weekends. And this is where they can see all their assignments. Everything is also on Google Classroom as well. So if they do forget their planner, it's all on Google Classroom and they can log in from home. And if you need help doing that or learning how to do that, I'm happy to help you. But their accordion folders is where they keep all their assignments. And then they also have a pocket in their accordion folders, keep at home. So once they have something that's handed back, then that'll go to the stay at home folder. And that's also where you should have found, for those of you who received the raffle ticket letter with raffle tickets, everything should come out of there every time that they bring that accordion folder home. Silent reading book. Everybody should always have a silent reading book with them. That's standard, I think, through 8th grade. So they should always have a book. We're going to see if we can try to do a little bit with Brown County Library and possibly get some books in, but that might be a little while because it's kind of a long process and we're trying to figure out the logistics. So we're hoping for some of that. I do have classroom library books. Every time I get a Scholastic order, I use as many points as I can that I earn to buy new books for the school, and everybody is allowed to take them. They just, when they're finished, when they take them, they have to leave them in their desk or in their backpack. And then when they're finished with it, I have a quarantine table so that they put that book on that table. Nobody can touch it for 24 hours, and then I put it back on the shelf. Arrival, I think we're all gotten used to. Transitions. You know, I just have some information for you on these sheets that I don't want to take up too much time. Just how we transition from class to class, the hallway movement, lunchroom, what happens down there, the playground, dismissal, mass. I started taking participation grades in math this year. It's hard to hear them sing and seeing if they're responding with their masks on. But I can see enough where I can, you know, notice if they're paying attention or if they're just kind of, I talk about being reverent and being respectful while we're at mass. It's a short mass, and that we should all be participating. And I lost my train of thought, my apologies. Be reverent and be respectful to those around us and to God. So we'll be adding that this year. Snacks, I think everybody's been bringing a snack and they've been doing a great job. Only having their masks off while they're eating and drinking. So that's been great. Fifth grade is also a year for some programs that we do. One is DARE through the Brown County Sheriff's Department. The Alloway Business Association puts on a career day, and they have a career essay contest. Last year, we ended up doing we were able to do the career day, but the award ceremony for the winners for the essay sorry, for the essay contest we did virtually, and it was still nice and everything. I have yet to hear from everybody, and I think that I'm hoping we'll be able to possibly do the junior achievement virtually. I just got a note from the person that coordinates that, so we might be able to do that virtually this year, but I'm not quite sure about the other couple things. There's also the Notre Dame Science Fair. We worked in class quite a bit last year for a pretty big science fair project, and then each grade school has their own science fair, and then the top 3 projects go onto the Notre Dame Academy Fair. Unfortunately, most of what had to be done virtually. So kids still did a really great job, but they didn't have an opportunity to go to Notre Dame because they canceled it because of COVID. So I think the other birthdays, we like to celebrate birthdays with the healthy treat. I give 10 minutes of either exercise time in celebration, either outside or in the gym. And we celebrate birthdays. If they have a non-school birthday day, we celebrate it the last school day before their birthday. And my contact information is all on here that I will send along. And I think I squeezed most of the important things in.
All right.
So thank you for your attention and your time.
Thank you. In transition, how about to Brian, Mr. Ritter?
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's go over what the curriculum is going to be like in 5th grade for social studies at Father Alloway. In 5th grade, we do world geography. So what that means, first trimester is an introduction to geography. So we go over the basics. And then second trimester, we learn about the continent of Africa. And the third trimester, we talk about the Americas, so both South America and North America. Then just to give you a sneak peek to middle school, 6th grade, you do ancient world history. 7th grade, you do U.S. History 1. And 8th grade, U.S. History 2. Grading, I do the same grading scale we do in middle school. So an A is 93 to 100, B is 85 to 92, C is 77 to 84, and a D is 69 to 76, and not passing is 68 and below. My grading is an even split between classwork and quizzes, projects, and test grades as well. We do a lot of work in class, so I do more classwork than I do give homework. When classwork is not finished in class, though, that's when it becomes homework. Due dates are given out when the assignment is given, and I do follow the Father Alloway late assignment policy. However, in 5th grade, I'm not sure if we're following that at least first or second trimester. Probably by 3rd.
Exactly. Yep.
We certainly will by 3rd. Let's see. Most assignments are available and completed on Google Classroom. Even if I give out paper copies of assignments, it is still on Classroom for anyone who's absent. It's been really helpful this year so far, and I'm sure it will continue to be much easier than last year. For notes is a big part of social studies, and I've chosen to utilize fill-in-the-blank notes for all of our social studies classes. One reason is I believe this models how good note-taking should be done, while not spending too much time in class writing pages and pages of notes. because we all know how much kids love doing that. I've been printing out note packets for students who then go through my Google Slides presentations that I make for the chapter we're working on. Then after they're finished with that, I lecture about the material. It's taken about 1 day, and the process has been really smooth. For 5th grade, for textbooks, we have 3 textbooks we use, 1 per trimester. Students have all 3 of these. And we do have assignments, reading assignments frequently with them. Ms. Johansky talked about assignment notebooks. Students should be writing any homework in their assignment notebooks. But in addition, like I said, everything we do in class is posted on Google Classroom. And that's available to both students and parents and guardians. And my last thing that I have here is I'm available before school for help between 7:15 until 7:40 or after school until at least 3:45. An email is appreciated, but I understand that's not always possible. I always encourage questions before, during, and after class. Questions lead to discussion, which leads to high quality learning opportunities for both students and teacher. That's all I got. So thank you very much.
All right, let's go to Samantha.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Skipton. I'm first year for 5th grade language arts, at least this year. And the way it's different from reading is I cover the writing and the grammar portion of English. So we're going to be doing a lot of writing this year, a lot of editing skills, whether it's working one-on-one with me to see exactly how we can polish their writing so they can be prepared for the essays that I like in 6th through 8th grade. Or I'm going to try some peer editing with them online and get them each on the same document to see how that works for editing, since we can't quite do a super close contact. I'm also going to be starting some opinion writing and then some argumentative writing with them. I utilize what I call paragraph of the week this year, just kind of as a bell ringer. So they are brainstorming on day 1, coming up with some ideas based on the topic I give them. Day 2, they're really working with those ideas and writing, a paragraph or 2, depending on what the topic is, to get those written down. Day 3, we're going to go ahead and really look at that paragraph, edit it, see, okay, was there a spelling mistake I made? Is there a piece of punctuation that's missing? Once that's all done, day 4, it's all nice and polished. It's good to go. So I'm really trying to getting them into the editing process for their writing this year. I follow similar grading styles as to Mrs. Johansky. I do a lot of in-class work as well, like Mr. Ritter, where it will be participation points for completing the homework. I try to give time in class for work. If there's not time in class, then I will send it home as homework, but it's very rare that I do unless it's for writing. And I think that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to post my syllabus for 5th grade on their Google Classroom. I'll just put it underneath a tab of general class information, so that way you can always access it. I'll also go over the writing assignments that we're going to be doing, and all of my contact information is also on there as well for you.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. Jackie, do you want to talk about Spanish?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I think everybody knows me already. I am really excited to see this group of kids here at this school. It really is a jump as far as who they're going to become in the expectation of maturity. And it is so neat to see the change in them, not just from the summer, but from being here a little while already. 5th grade Spanish this year, it's kind of a review of what we have done, but with extensions in vocabulary and context and culture. And then we're going to really take what we're learning and turn it into, well, how would you use this in real life, and creating little skits. So there's going to be a lot of hands-on usage in 5th grade. It's also, I really see myself as not just a Spanish teacher, but I want these kids to be successful as themselves. So right now we're really working on the, you know, paying attention. When I'm speaking, I need you to stop. I need you to actually look at me and be with me in the moment, which sounds like, well, don't you do that every year? But fifth grade, it gets a little more serious, you know, just getting them to be everything they can be. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the class as a whole. Is, you know, we were off for so long, just getting them back into this is what learning looks like. And oh my gosh, they're just a fantastic group of kids. Got their hands raised constantly. They want to participate. This group just loves to learn. So we are off to a super fantastic start, and 2 thumbs up.
Jeannie, do you want to talk about art?
Sure. Hi, Jean Islandfeld, and I teach art kindergarten through 8th. The first semester here, first half of the year, I'm going to be on the Res campus. And so, and then the second half of the year, I'll be at the St. Matthew campus. So the kids have, fifth grade, actually, I have them like 4 days a week right now for art. So they're having it more often right now for half a year. And what that'll look like on their report card for grades is that they will get a art grade the end of the first trimester, and then they'll get like a final art grade the end of the second trimester, and then they won't have a grade the third trimester for art. So the best way to reach me, I'd say, is email if you can. And then, because I'm in class, and then I can get back to you. Art looks a little different this year because the kids aren't coming to the art room. I'm on a cart like everybody else, and I'm going to their classrooms. We can't share the art supplies like we, have done in the past. And that's why I asked each family to get their own box of art supplies. And there's some basic supplies, and I thank you for doing that. I know that was extra, but it's really allowing the kids to, work at their desk and continue to create. So thank you for that. And that box of supplies is theirs. It's right at their spot, and they don't share it with anybody, and they have everything that they need at their spot. I do use the Art Google Classroom. So I do have a 5th grade Art Google Classroom set up. And in there, I post information, about the projects and directions. And sometimes I may be doing like a little demonstration video so that they can watch the steps of a process. So we'll be at our desks and continuing to develop our art ideas and our art skills and our art criticism skills, learning to look and talk about art and write about art. So good to see you all, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening.
All righty. And then we have Mr. Forbes, who will talk about beginning band and try to answer any questions you might have if you want your children to get involved with the band program. I will just say that some of the teachers will be transitioning to the middle school meeting, which is going to start at 6:30. But Sarah, you can stay on line and then answer any questions anybody has. And if you can't answer them, then we'll take note and get back to people tomorrow with them. Okay. So Mr. Forbes, do you want to talk about beginning band?
Well, I have that video prepared. I think expecting that video would be played and then I'd respond to it, but
okay. Well, yeah.
But because I can tell that we have very little time. But let me see if I can put things into a nutshell. For beginning band right now, instrumental music, and I refer to it that because band as we know it is not the get-together experience that would be typical. But it is about skill development as it relates to selecting instruments, I have all the students in one class, meaning that instead of them electing to be in band, we're running kind of what would be like a general music class as it relates to instrumental music. Currently, I see them for about 40 minutes a week, and I'm giving them some ideas of different instruments, also some technology, and also just, I guess, a general overview, a music appreciation opportunity. Now, there's a document that's going to be very important for you to find out other information. I call it "It Is What It Is" document, and that is going to be available. We're going to find that. That's also going to be in that little video that is going to be part of this. It'll show you how to get to that. That's going to talk about safety, because that's right at the top of the list when it comes to playing instruments and aerosols and all those type of things that we're concerned about with the whole COVID situation. And then it's going to go on and talk about technology, what we're going to be using for the Smart Music program, which is their ability to be able to play into this program, have it be immediately reactive to what they do. It can assess what they do. I can hear what they do. Even you can hear and see, once we get it worked in with some of the other visual technology, how your students are handling the aspect of playing the instrument. If everything ends up going virtual, we can do a lot of things in Google Meet as well. But right now, I would say that the focus would have to be towards just making sure that the environment that they're in when they come in for lessons, which would be in that video that you would see, that it's safe for that when we work with them individually, that we can determine what is the best instrument for them to play. If they're not wanting to be part of the mainstream idea of band or instrumental music, then we'll be mostly working on percussion aspects and what would be more of a general music or music appreciation stream. So that, like I say, for right now, it is a work in progress, and we are, some programs are not even doing anything right now. So we're trying to ease the way into it, make sure its safety is at the forefront. And hopefully, I mean, it does seem like a very interesting class of young people to work with, and I'm looking forward to it. I know that there's a lot of eagerness as well, but it is baby steps. So I know that patience is going to be, a virtue that we'll need to practice in the process. Oops. Now I can't see me. Can you see me?
We can see you.
Okay. Okay. So I don't really, because it's such an unusual approach because of COVID. I've been doing a lot of research and making sure that things are safe for children before we start doing anything in school with playing those instruments. You can anticipate that once we do, there's going to be masks and bell covers. There's screens, and again, this is all in that video in my virtual tour. But that's going to be at the forefront, making sure that as I assess them and as they come in for lessons to see, what how they're developing their technique, the at-home practice, which is always a factor. Any band teacher would say, no, you don't have to practice, run. I mean, there's no such thing as not having to practice. So that's always the key factor, is if they can get into a routine of practice. And typically for a beginner, we're talking about 60 minutes a week, about 15 minutes, every other day, to develop their embouchures, to be able to work those muscles and the coordination to feel the success on their instrument, so that they progress in such a way that they understand what the value is, and of course the enjoyment, and hopefully maybe then by the time they get to Christmas time, you're recognizing sounds that they can make, and maybe you can get a tip jar out and make some money for their college fund. I mean, for right now, it's like I say, it's a work in progress, and we're easing our way into it. I don't want to make any definite date promises at this point in time. We're taking it as it goes in terms of safety and in terms of, I just have to make sure that we're also fitting into the schedule, because the next big chunk is to figure out lesson times. and that's going to be on a Monday or Tuesday, that we get to see students on in more of an individual or section, all flutes, all trumpets, all clarinets, whatever the breakdown is going to be. I did send out, as of today, as a matter of fact, a prompt that inside the document that is going to be available, there's the ability to be able to, if I could flip my screen around, I'd show it to you right now. There's a document that it will help you to see what the anatomy, the physical, the muscle distribution, the jaw, etc. That's going to help you to determine what instrument might be best. If, for instance, just as an example, if somebody has an issue with a crow's peak or something like that, that divides the airstream and they want to play a flute, it may not be good for them. There's this document is going to be very helpful in that way, but it's going to take a little bit more specific time, a lot more time than I have in the few moments that I have overextended already during this time. So I'm going to encourage people to watch the video and then hit me up with questions that you may have. Again, I'm sorry it seems a little bit kind of vague and nebulous at this point, but that's kind of where it is actually.
Okay. If anybody has any questions for Mr. Forbes before the video will be on the website, correct, Chris?
Yes, and yeah, I would definitely encourage them watching that first, and that might, you know, inspire some other questions for sure.
I was just gonna check to see if it's up yet. Okay.
Did you see it?
I do not, but I will ask.
Yeah, she sent, Kay sent the link out. It was in an email.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to put it on the website. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that we got an email and it's a video of Mrs. Thoreau and Mr. Forbes.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Any questions for Mr. Forbes at this time? Okay. Probably head on over to the middle school meeting.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do.
All right, thank you.
Good seeing you folks.
All right, does anybody have any additional questions for me? No? Email me anytime. I don't tip it. Oh, that was the other really important thing. And that is definitely in here and I'll highlight it. But if there's anything that is needed to be communicated to your child before the end of the day, please call the office instead of emailing, just because in the afternoon today, I don't think I checked my email once. I try to check it at least once toward the end of class, but I did not have time to check my email today. So if it's something important like so-and-so should walk home or no, we're picking them up or anything like that, please call the office, because if I don't see that, I would hate for your child to be, well, I'm supposed to be picked up, what's going on? Just those kind of need to know right away information would be helpful to call the office rather than emailing me. But email me anytime with any questions. I'm happy to help. And if I can't help for some reason, I'm happy to find out the answer for you. So I know the Clickus said they didn't have any questions. Schulers, do you have any questions for me at all?
Nope.
Can't think of any.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. I'm sure you all heard that your children had gummy worms today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are soaking on our ledge in water. And what they don't know yet is next week we are going, after we observe and take our information down, when we see the results of 24 hours of the worm sitting in the water, next week we're going to try different liquids. We're going to try different kinds of soda, orange juice, Gatorade, coffee, and they'll get to pick what liquid they get to put their worm in. So it'll be another very fast afternoon like it was today. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us. And again, anytime, please feel free to reach out. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.